there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Hello. Let's get on into it. This is 1100 WSG. I'm Neutral LaVern, and this is one street over. What's happening, y'all? One street over from where you're living. Let me see if I can get the music turned off behind me. There it goes. Now we can hear me. Hello, Tiffany Thomson's in the house, my dear sweet friend, and we get to chatting, and I'm like, well, I guess we need to turn the microphones on and let people know what we're saying. And I'm just so tickled you're in here, because we just love to catch up. And every now and then I'll call you and I'll be like, it's been a month, it's been 2 months. What's going on in your world? And I'll see little postings on social media from you, and that kind of keeps me up to speed. But one of the funniest things is that you have a new job.
Yeah.
And I believe that somebody in your hierarchy said, hey, maybe we can get you on LaVern's show.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's my sister.
Yes,
we're good.
Yes.
It's like, I think we can manage that.
I think, and then I think it was the same day you called me, and you're like, "Hey, you want to come in?"
Funny.
I think it may have been that same day. If not, it was the day before.
Yeah, isn't that hysterical?
It was Chris Hamsley. He's the board president of the Robertson County Senior Center, which is the new job, and
we're buds.
He's like, "Oh yeah, we could maybe get you on the LaVern show." I'm like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about that." And then you called me, "Hey, you want to come on?" I'm like, "Let's do it."
Oh, well, really, I really wanted to get you on last week with the crawfish the coming up, and we just didn't have an open slot. I mean, it's just been, we're so thankful. You guys have helped us keep just interesting folks on these airways, and we're having so much fun. And we've got more and more people wanting to come on. And so I love that. It makes it just so much fun to get to do this. And we just didn't have an open slot, but we talked about you.
Good.
So we, and Lee Marie came on with, I think one afternoon, we had a last minute opening. So she'll come on from time to time and do a calendar with me and all of those things. So she keeps her ear to the ground and knows things I don't know. And a lot of it's because I'm in the classroom teaching. And it's like Tiffany asked me, are you excited about the end of school? And I'm like, if I can get all the things done that I need to get done, then I will be. Give me about a week and I think I'll be off. Yay! Right now I'm just like, I got a lot going on, but it's all good.
All good.
All good stuff.
All good stuff. We got graduation at our house today, so I'm
Springfield.
in the same boat. So
Yeah. Well, and this is number 2. This is number 2 to fly the nest. Last year was what was the year before? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 years. Yeah, Turner graduated 2 years ago.
Man,
yeah,
flies,
I know.
Goodness.
I'll get a little bit of more break. The twins don't graduate for 3 more years. They're freshmen this year, so
yeah. So you get a little breath.
Little breath.
So, but you have, you've got a senior, and so it's not quite the emotional upheaval it is when your first flies.
It's not.
different because you and I talked when Turner was getting ready to fly the nest. I said the wrong thing, and you were just, well, that's what I was talking about when my first of my twins, because my twins are the oldest.
Yeah.
So they were leaving about the same time, but when the one that had signed to play football at Harding had to leave a couple of weeks early for football camp. And that moment when he left, after we had sat around the table, because we had dinner, and then he left. We had a family meal, and then he got up and I knew it would never be the same. And so when that first one flies, it will never be the same. And he's even on mission. When will he be out?
He comes home next March, so he's still got
next March.
Next March,
really?
Yeah. So
I didn't realize y'all's mission commitments are that long.
2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize they were that lengthy.
Yeah.
But interesting.
we're filling the length right now, but it's good. It's like it flies and crawls at the same time. It's crazy. Yeah. But that's how it is with kids in general, right? Like the baby stage flies and crawls all at the same time.
Well, it's like I have watching my second of my twins, Jeremiah's family. He's the one that got started. He's the one that went to Harding to play football. He married Erica, and they have 3 kids, and they've been married like 12 years now.
Wow.
I think. Yeah. I mean, 12, 13, a long time. And they've got 3 little ones. So they are the ones that I look at them and I'm like, I can't believe my grandson's going to be double digits this summer. And then his cousins, who they have these sweet cousins. They've got their family is just beautiful. It's just they just love each other so much, and they just live life together, and it's just really beautiful. But they've got this one cousin, and she married an EMT guy, and they have a daughter together. But then they decided they weren't going to have any more biological kids. But he went on a call one day. And it was somebody who was a woman that was in distress, and she was, I don't want to say too much about it, but it was not a good situation that the woman was in, and she was kind of well known, and she had been abused, and they went to check on her, and there was a child there. One of her kids that she still had custody of was there, and he was like 3, and was running around in a diaper and a t-shirt, and it was winter. And he could not get this image of this child out of his head and so he kept checking on the baby. Eventually they adopted this child and brought them into their family. And so watching that little guy, and there was actually a blog that I wrote with their blessing. I met Joy today. His name is Ty. That I wrote years and years ago, because the sweet little child, he's like 13 now.
Oh, wow.
And he is a prodigy on the guitar. I mean, he's just amazing. But nonetheless, I was talking to his dad. I'm telling all this long story to tell you this one line that he shared with me. I said, I cannot believe these kids are this age now. And I said, it goes so fast. He says, yeah, he goes, the days are long, but the years are short.
Yep.
And that right there, and I think I've heard that before, but to me, that is just the synopsis of parenting. The days are long, but the years are short. As somebody that's about to have their 7th grandchild in December, by December, I will have 7.
Exciting.
And we're the tiebreaker. I've got another girl coming in September. So they'll have 3 girls and 3 boys. And so the December baby is going to be a tiebreaker. And so I want to stay a boy family. I'll be thrilled with a girl, but I'm not boy dominant. Come on, Vivio's.
God has a way of rounding you out, though, LaVern.
I know. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful and good, but we're going to find out real soon if it's a boy or a girl. It's kind of heartbeats and stuff. It's indicating girl.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because they kind of can, so I don't know, but I'm teasing
They say that, but I have boy-girl twins, and their hearts beat in unison.
Really?
Yeah, several times they had to do an ultrasound because they could only get one heartbeat and found out their hearts were just beating in unison.
How fun is that? That's neat.
Isn't that sweet?
That is very sweet. That's very sweet. How many people ask you, are they identical?
It happened a lot when they were little. It did, absolutely, when they were little.
Even though they knew they were a boy and girl?
Yeah. Yep. I think some people just don't really understand
they don't.
What that means.
Yeah,
but
I know, but I got tickled because I got the question all the time, but I had boys.
Yeah.
But when people would tell me they had boy-girl twins and people would ask them if they're identical, I would just giggle.
Yeah.
It's like, sure.
No, there's a few things different about them.
Well, mine even had different blood types as brothers.
Oh, yeah.
They just happened to be brothers born on the same day.
Yeah.
And my twin experience had they were born like at about, I think Caleb was born around 5 and then Jeremiah around 6, because once Caleb was delivered, they realized Jeremiah was wrapped up in the umbilical cord. Had we gone to term, I think we would have lost Jeremiah. I truly do, because we delivered at 8 months. That was just a God thing. And my grandfather was a twin, and his twin was stillborn, and it makes me wonder if it wasn't a similar situation that I was in. But nonetheless, he's here and he's fine. But it was one of those things, had everything been okay and if I'd been allowed just to go into natural labor and all that, he very easily could have been born the next day. And I'd had twins born 2 days, just hours apart, but on 2 different days. And my twins would have loved that.
My twins were born August 1st at 1:00 in the morning. And so I thought I may have had one born in July, and they would have had different birthstones.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking about as I'm in labor on July 31st. So if they don't both get here before midnight.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? They were born after.
They came at 1:00, yeah.
Oh, bless. But you do. Yeah. I mean, when you've got 2 coming, it's kind of like you think, well, what's going to happen here? Because it can happen. But, okay, this is my friend, and we just talk, and you guys get to bear witness to it and enjoy it. I hope it's been interesting for you. So, okay.
It's like a podcast.
There you go. Absolutely. And but now Tiff is here to talk about a couple of things. I do want to talk about Sports Alliance, because that's, with the crawfish, the, what do you call it? I'm just like going blank on it.
The bowl?
The crawfish boil. Crawfish boil. And kind of give us this, just kind of a recap there and where we are as far as Sports Alliance and moving forward, because summer, you guys are going to be busy with different things, but then you have this new position with the Senior Center. Talk to us a little bit about that and anything else that's on your mind.
All right.
So go. Your turn.
Well, we did. Generations Next had the biggest fundraiser last weekend at the fairgrounds. It was amazing. And really, it was like 3 fundraisers in one, because we had Queen of the Craw, which was a beauty pageant that morning, and then we had the crawfish competition where it was sanctioned by I'm gonna mess it up, but it was like the official Southern Crawfish.
It was a
federation. Yeah. It was a preliminary. So the Super Bowl is coming up. So it was, and so we had teams from Texas and Alabama and all over the South come for that. We had 22 teams compete, and the judges had to be trained specifically by the federation. They had some guy come from Houston. I talked to him and his wife, and they had 2 little kids with them. And anyway, it was Mother's Day weekend, and they're darling, just a darling family. They had driven here, and they loved it. They loved the area, and then so we had the boil, and then we had a big concert that night, and so it was all from 6:00 in the morning until midnight. We were at the fairgrounds, just pouring into our community, and our community pouring back into us. And it was an amazing thing to be a part of, and to see the hours and hours and hours that went into creating such a a unifying event, you know, and I always try to remind people, you know, fundraising's great, but what we really need to do is connect people with the mission. And, you know, and Generations Next mission is to provide positive childhood experiences for children of all ages so that they can grow up to be healthy and mentally well. And that's kind of our mission in a nutshell. And so this was a positive experience. One of the biggest positive childhood experiences you can have is to feel connected to your community. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't feel connected to your community if you're sitting at home doing nothing. Yeah. You got to have a place to connect with. So it was amazing. It was an amazing night. We learned a lot. Yep. We learned a ton. When you throw an event that big, we had a lot of learning experiences with security and how to keep people safe and just how to make things flow. And so anyway, but it was great. And we feel really blessed that the community really showed up and showed out and came to that. And I'm still just like on cloud nine thinking about how beautiful it was. But so it was good.
I want to say, so did Nick come out and judge again?
Yeah,
Nick
he did. Yeah.
So he got training?
He got the official training. Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, I love Nick. And we used to sit together at the Titans games back when the kids were little. We had Titans tickets. And we'd sit side by side for years. And so we got to know him. He's just a neat guy.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. He's just always so much fun to bring to town.
Yeah.
So. Hi, Nick. So anyway.
I didn't get to spend much time, but I did show him where the judges' tent was.
There you go.
So that was kind of I was the greeter kind of at the gate and helping people. I was only 3 weeks out of surgery, so I was just what I could do without lift. I didn't do any of the heavy lifting. I will admit that. So just whatever I could do to fill in. But yeah, he was there, and Nico Moon is not an artist I was super familiar with, but man, people traveled from a ways away to come to his concert, and we had the cutest little toddler.
You were telling me about that.
That was like dressed up like him, and he had his little microphone, and I was just dying because I did that was the one part of the event I did actually get to kind of enjoy because the gates had closed by the time he performed, and so I was over there kind of singing and dancing and saw this toddler, and my heart just melted. And then later I saw a picture of Nico Moon and him meeting, and there's a picture on our Facebook page of him getting down on his level and meeting this cute little toddler that he must just be obsessed with, Nico Moon, because he had a hat that looked just like him. And anyway, it was so adorable. But yeah, so it's just moments like that you're like, you just can't create any other way. So it was amazing. But yeah, we got our Super Bowl. Our Super Bowl for flag football is this weekend. And we are still looking for a few more volunteers. So if anybody would like to volunteer, get in touch with me. You can call my cell phone number 615 or text me 615-476-6174. Again, that's 615-476-6174. LaVern, you act like I haven't been on your show before.
I know. Well, that's why I was just kind of wanting to tell your director. It's like, see, that's how much she's been on here. She knows. You always give the number twice. Give the number twice.
Yeah. So if you want to help out, and the Super Bowl is super fun. You get to see these kids go head to head. You get to see some raw emotion. Sometimes it's parents, but it's really cool to see their season of growing come to a head. The kids grow so much during the season. I guess 4 out of the 5 of my kids played flag football. And they just to watch how much they mature and how much these coaches really pour into them in such a positive manner, encouraging them to try harder, to be a little bit better. In fact, I was talking to a friend this morning who was telling me that she's got 4 kids and they all really struggle with depression except her one kid that's involved in gymnastics. And she's like, I think it's because she learned she can do hard through gymnastics. And I was like, and that's what I wanted. We're not a particularly athletic family. We didn't have the means for my kids when they were little to start in athletics early.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive, especially when you have 4 kids in 4 years. Yeah. So when I found Generations Next and their Robertson County Sports Alliance, their flag football program, where they're like, we don't care that they haven't had experience in this before. We're still going to give them a chance to play and still be part of a team. I knew that they were going to get a chance to learn how to do hard. Mm-hmm. and they were going to get a chance to go out and be disappointed. I mean, honestly, those are things that children need to learn how to do in an environment of support and caring. They need to learn how to be disappointed. They need to learn how to fail. They need to learn how to pick themselves back up and keep going when they've made mistakes. And that's what the flag football team does. It teaches them those things that look like they're playing a game, but really it's character building, it's life skills. And when you have coaches that understand the mission and they pour into those kids, those kids are just set up for success for long term in life. And none of my kids became professional flag football people, but my twins are facilitators. They go out and they facilitate the flag football games on the weekends, and it's been a blessing. So it's their first real job, and it's just it's kind of fun.
I mean, and it's such a blessing. It's like I joke a lot about how crazy baseball parents are, and my family, they're crazy baseball people. And it's so funny. We did not, it's kind of the same reason you did. It was just so expensive when the kids were little. We just shied away from baseball because it was such a time commitment. There was a lot of cost involved. And my husband and I, either one, were baseball or softball people. And so we navigated to different things and played a little bit of this and that. But when I see the family and the community that has been established, my kids that are deep into baseball and softball, what a community that they have, and what a family. And when you go out and spend some time with them in the ballpark, you get it. You get why they're obsessed, is because it is you just have this wonderful community and family that goes together. It's so funny. They're getting ready for travel ball.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I know. So here we go again. But they're getting ready for travel ball. And my daughter-in-law's sister was putting together a siblings toy box because there's 20 siblings that are going to be going with all this travel stuff. And they need things to play with. And you've got these 20 friends, and they're watching their siblings. That's why I love that what you're doing with flag football. Because like you said, if a kid's sitting at home and depressed and sad and lonely, you just got to get them out there.
Right.
And
you feel like if you're recognizing that in your 10-year-old or your 12-year-old, and you're like, I missed that window. Know that Robertson County Sports Alliance is there, because you haven't missed the window yet. Come and let them play. We'll have as soon as we finish up spring, we got stuff going on in summer, and then we'll have fall signups coming up pretty soon. Yep. So get them involved. They don't have to be the best. Yeah, they do not have to be the best. And if you think that they're going to fail, well, let them fail. Come let them fail.
So funny that you mentioned that. My grandson is quite talented in everything he does athletically. His sister, it's like my son calls her, it's the golden retriever effect. She's just glad to be here. She just bounces around the field and just
that would have been me. That would have been me.
And then her little brother's kind of the same way. He just like running in circles, And so it's like it's that golden retriever spirit. I'm just glad to be out here.
I'm just here.
And it's just fun. But she has a ball, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. But anyway, so get involved. And I just love Pierre and all that his heart does for kids, and he's in this with you. And it's just, how many years has this been going now? Do you know? Because
we just hit our 3-year as an official nonprofit.
Okay. But y'all were kind of going before that even.
I'm trying to think, because Max played the first season. I'm trying to think how long ago that was, but yeah.
Okay.
He's 18, so yeah, maybe this fall will be 4 years since they started their first league.
Well, and with your kids, you never don't feel like you've missed the window. Like you said, I don't care how old they are, because I'm meeting kids. I've got a senior texting me right now. Hey, Miss Vivio, and it's like these kids, man. They're so cool, and they're so wonderful. And yeah, some of them are adults now, but you can still pour into them, and you can still have influence on them, and you can still show them beautiful, wonderful things. So, if you've got one that's there was one kid in particular that comes to mind right now that's graduating, that when I first met them, they were not saying anything, just very secluded. And now they've got friends, and I'm just seeing this different, and all it took was, and I'm not really sure what the switch was. It just, there was something that they connected to that drew them outside themselves.
Connection is the cure.
It is the cure.
I will say that a million times over for anything. Connection is the cure.
Yes.
and communication is a conduit of connection. That's my...
Say that again.
Connection is a cure, and communication is a conduit of connection.
Boom. I love that. I was driving down the road. You know how you drive, and I know you got to do this too. And you'll see people walking down the side of the road, and you just pray for them. Because you can just see the heaviness, and you can see the darkness on them, and you can just see the sadness. And I saw this guy walking, and it looked like he was probably walking from work to home, and he just looked so sad. And just like, I thought, man, this is somebody that's just going to go home, watch TV, and that's their life, and then go back to work. Say it again. Connection.
Connection is the cure, and communication is the conduit of connection.
And guys, there are so many connections. I don't care how old you are. We're gonna. This is that transition into the senior center, because we're talking about the youth, and then we're going to transition to the other side of it. But in between, there's all these things as well. There are so many places to connect, guys. So many places to connect. There, and I will point you first and foremost to churches. Find a church, find a body of believers to be a part of and connect through Christ. I'll just tell you that right now. That to me is the first and foremost way. If that's just not for you, then senior centers, all kinds of volunteer opportunities. You've got 211 that you can call with United Way that can connect you to all kinds of things. If you just connect and communicate, you will pull yourself out of this dark, whatever you're in. And, you and I talked a lot about, people talk about their anxiety and their depression, and those are symptoms of a deeper problem. That means that you need to get some help, and it's that communication and that connection. One of my kids is a clinical counselor, and he says, you just can't believe the need right now for counseling because of all this stuff. We can shut ourselves off from the world, and by doing that, we just bring this heaviness in on us that we can't seem to shake.
Right.
I don't know why I'm going down this road, but all the stuff you're doing, I think, is connected to this because, transitioning now to the senior question. My mom, I wish that she had had a real active senior center that we could have gotten her involved in. It would have been a game changer for her. She has passed, and but fortunately, she lived on the farm that my brother, owns and runs now with his wife, and my nephew's there, and particularly Wade, bless you, he just took care of his grandma, and so she had that. But even then, they couldn't be there all the time,
right?
And I couldn't be, and so if they could, and I mean, I was there very, very little, but because I was 2 hours away, but if she had had a connection to a senior center where she could have gone and just sat and talked with her friends and had some physical contact, what a game changer that would have been for her. I mean, and really for her family too, because we'd worry about her constantly and just didn't like her sitting there by herself and all this kind of stuff. But you don't have to do that, do you?
No.
So tell us why.
Come. It's funny because when I was in interviews for this new position, I said a lot of my, my background is in nonprofit program development, right? And so I've had a lot of different roles developing different programs, but I've mostly worked with juveniles overall and our youth. And so I'm like, well, most of my background is with kids, and they're like, oh, it's not going to be any different. And what I'm learning is humans are human, right?
Yes.
The way that we throw a tantrum at 2 might look a little bit different than we do at 75, but we still throw tantrums, and we still have rough moments. We still have big feelings, and I just started last week as the executive director of the Robertson County Senior Center, and so I'm learning a lot and kind of feel like I think I've used the phrase "drinking out of a fire hose" quite a bit, but just kind of it's beautiful. In fact, Stephanie Evans, who those who don't know, she her PhD actually, she studied suicide, and so she's very involved in the suicide prevention work that's happening in Robertson County. And when she found out I got my position, she said, I want you to know that 65 plus is the number one group of people dying by suicide.
That blew my mind when you told me that the other day.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, just, it's not hard to figure it out. It's because of the isolation that happens after 65. A lot of times people retire and they feel very isolated. And again, connection is a cure. So we're not feeling connected. And it's too easy to stay home nowadays. Honestly, we can shop online. We can get our groceries delivered. We can sit and be entertained endlessly. And if you don't have and some of us really need something to kind of force us out. Because and it's really easy to be like, well, I'm just an introvert, I don't want to be out. Well, sometimes it doesn't matter if you want to.
You need to be.
You need to.
Yes.
You need to go out and you need to connect. And so when everything that we're getting is artificial, then we just don't have what it needs to feed our soul. Have I ever told you the story about the deer?
I don't think so.
So this is one of my favorite things when we talk about like social media and what it can do. Is so a long time ago, in the mountains of Utah, there was an avalanche and some deer got trapped in a valley, and some farmers saw it and they're like, oh no, like we're not going to be able to, they're not going to make it through the winter. So they came and they took hay to the deer. They knew that wasn't what deer normally ate, but they came and they brought hay so that it'd help get them through winter. So when the snow melted, they went back to this canyon and they found all the deer dead, and they're like, this is really weird, I wonder what happened. So they did what ranchers do. They open up their stomachs to see if they, had ran out of food or whatever. And their stomachs were chock full of hay, because deer's bodies don't know how to break down hay.
Right.
It doesn't give them any nutrients. And so that's kind of what social media does for us. It gets us full. Like our body's like, oh, I need to connect to other people. And so we consume it, thinking that it's fulfilling our need to connect with other humans, but it's not real. It's fake. Yeah. And it's slowly killing us, or especially our mental health. And so that is why the temptation to stay home, the temptation to just get your contact through consuming social media and endless reels and scrolls. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. We're not feeling connected.
That's a great illustration. I had never heard that.
And so anyway, and it's happening with our youth. It's happening with humanity in general. I mean, I even see kids on tablets, from little toddlers and stuff, and very early on, we're over consuming the stuff that doesn't feed our souls.
I agree. And it's just, how many times do we, and it's hard because I've been in the restaurants with the kids and they're having a fit, and it's just so easy to go here.
Right. Instead of pick them up, take them outside, because that's what.
Yeah,
back in my day, we didn't have tablets when my oldest ones especially were little, and they throw a fit in a restaurant. I had to literally pick them up, take them out of the restaurant, get them some fresh air. Yeah. As the kids say now, we went and touched grass, and it calmed them down, and then we brought them back in. But it's a lot more effort than handing them your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And so and because they've had that for so long, it is something that we have got to take back. But you can see it too, because that's one thing. When we got my mother connected through Facebook and all those things, she felt connected, but she wasn't really.
It's better than nothing, I feel like.
Yes, it was a blessing. It was a blessing in many ways.
Yeah.
But it would have been a greater blessing if we could have gotten her more out there. And for a while she was, but as she ended up passing from cancer, and so you do get to a place where you're debilitated and you just can't. So it did give her a connection, but there's nothing that can replace that real physical connection. We need to do a break. It's already 7:30, and then we'll come back and kind of I know we've been kind of all over the place. The whole point is, Tiffany, you're working on your doctorate right now, okay? And what's your doctorate going to be in?
Communication.
Yeah. And she started in this area with CASA, and then went United Way, and then Safe Baby Court, and now she's working with seniors. So that gives you kind of an idea of her depth of understanding of all of these different communities and communication. We
won't even talk about the ones I've sat on the board for or volunteered for.
That's just it. So many.
I feel like I've either worked for or volunteered for almost every nonprofit in town. So
pretty much. And that's why we're so connected, is because she's been in here to come and speak about all those things. Mm-hmm. And so it gives you just a very good perception of what's going on in these communities, and you can speak as an authority on it because you've had boots on the ground there yourself. So nonetheless, that's why we love talking to Tiff, and we're going to continue that conversation in just a moment. But we are going to pause, and we want to talk about. We're going to start with Valor Mortgage today, and we love that we've got these two wonderful full-time sponsors that just kind of coincide with Exit Prime Realty and Valor Mortgage, because Exit Prime, Barry and Rebecca will tell you, you don't need to even think about looking at a home until you know what you can qualify for. Valor Mortgage is a great place to start because you can give them a call and they can say, okay, let's take a look at your income. Let's look at your budget. What type of home can you qualify for? How much can you handle? What's your rent now? What's your home price now? And take and really evaluate that for you so you're not wasting your time when it comes to looking at homes that you want to purchase, or maybe you're wanting to do some investment. One of my kids is actually keeping the home that they're in right now, and they've bought another one. They're going to rent one, and maybe you want to do that. And he's a veteran, and so there's options for VA loans that some of us don't have that can help you, navigate those waters. And at Valor Mortgage, Chris Armtrout and his experienced team of loan officers can help you, whether it's a VA loan or an FHA loan, conventional, a jumbo loan, whatever it is, the tools you need to get you to the closing table for whatever it is you're doing, whether it be a first home purchase, whether it be an investment property, whether it be refinancing, getting equity out, whatever it might be. You're not going to be a number to them. When you call these 1-800 numbers, you are a number, and then you get spammed like crazy. You're going to have a local, wonderful company that's going to come on board with you and be part of your team. They're not just in the business of mortgage, they're in the business of making home ownership and all your dreams possible. Whether you're buying your first home, as we said, refinancing or investing in your future, Valor Mortgage is ready to serve, and you can call them 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage to get pre-approved. And when it matters most, remember, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence, buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend, and let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, Tiff, where do you want to go from here?
Chris is awesome.
I love
We were in Kiwanis together for quite a while. I was hoping it was UPS day because, man.
Well, we're going to talk UPS too.
Okay,
We've actually got to talk UPS and Prime Mortgage.
Let me do the UPS commercial when we're ready
we'll do them
it.
next, and then we'll finish with Exit Prime.
But speaking back about being isolated, we also, though, some people literally physically cannot get out, and we recognize that, and we are being tasked. I'm learning all about it. So I'm a baby when it comes to this, but we do a telephone reassurance program where we call those who are home and cannot get out. I don't really love the term shut in, but that is the term we've used for a long time is, somebody that's shut in. So if you know somebody that cannot get out, could use a phone call to check in on them, please, you can email me at director@rcseniorcenter.com, RC for Robertson County Senior Center.com. Again, that's director@rcseniorcenter.com. And give me their phone number, a little bit of information. You could also call up at the senior center. I do not have that number memorized yet, but you can call up there and we'll get them on the list, and so that we can give them a call. We can check in on them. When it's your grandma, you want as many people calling as possible to make sure that they're okay. So we'll call them. I know the sheriff's office also has a program where they'll go out and check on them physically, and then hopefully you got a church and grandkids coming and making sure the lawn's mowed or whatever. But the more checks somebody can have, the better. So please, that is something a program that we want to grow and to be able to really make impactful and effective here in Robertson County. So if you know of anybody that could use a phone call, please let us know.
Do y'all do anything because they have the SOS program with the sheriff's office that's similar to that? Do y'all do anything in conjunction with them? So not yet. That is something that on my list of priorities is to get in touch with the sheriff's office and see how we can collaborate with that. Yeah. Because I know that they've probably got a list and we've got a list, and we can kind of share some of that information. And so I'm planning on reaching out to them. Yep. Jessica should be on Monday because this is her Monday to come on. she's communications with sheriff's office. So, but we talk a lot about that. So as soon as you talked about that, I was like, oh, this sounds like SOS.
Yeah.
And so
they'll go and physically check on them. We call and chat with them and make sure that they're doing okay. So I think it's important to have as many checks as possible. So if sheriff's office is already checking on them, please still give us a call and give us their information.
Follow up with it too. Yeah, like you said, you can't have too many people.
Exactly. And then if we call and there is a problem, we can send the sheriff's office out. Kind of thing. We can. I'm hoping to get that collaboration going well. Sheriff's office is amazing, and so I'm excited to hopefully work with them.
One thing with that, they'll work with special needs too, because you have special needs adults that are living alone and that they assist with. So that opens up a question in my mind: who is qualified to come and be a part of what goes on at the senior center?
So I was actually
what are those services?
I was surprised by this because the night before my first interview, it was my brother's birthday, and I called him, and he's just like, "Well, next year I qualify as a senior, at least for the senior citizen discount." And I was like, "He's got little kids, like he has a 3-year-old," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, or I guess he's a little bit older now, but he's like, "Well, I'll be 55 next year." And I was like, "Oh," he's like, "in some places consider that a senior." And I was like, crazy. And then I went to my first interview and they're like, "We need to grow the 50 plus population." Like 50?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm almost 50. I was like, and there's no way like that in my mind at all did I qualify for senior center. But yeah, it's a 50 plus community. It's in Robertson County, it's very well established. It's 75 plus. Yeah. But that's one of the things that the board has asked me to do is to help grow that 50 plus community. So we're going to, obviously, 50-year-olds, most of us are still working. Some of us still have teenagers at home or other kids at home. Like it's a different time slot then right now we're open from 9 to 3:30 Monday through Friday, so we would need to, so we're kind of looking at some programming that would extend those hours or would at least bring people in for different things. And so yeah, if you're 50 and if you're not, like we actually, one of our favorite things to do are that I haven't done it yet, but they do tours, they do bus tours, a lot of traveling, and you just have to be 21 to go on that. So anybody can go, anybody over 21 can go on these bus tours. We have one coming up to Cape Cod. We have another one to Vermont. We have another one to Mount Rushmore and Yellowstone and the Badlands coming up in September. And then we're just added a new one, and that's the one I get to go on. So I'm super excited. And that is to New Hampshire in September. We're going to take a gondola up through the White Mountains.
It's going to be all the trees.
Yes. They're going to start popping the leaves. And so, and it will be my first trip that I get to go on. So if you're over 21 and you want to go see some leaves in New Hampshire, we're going to Lake Winnipesaukee, and if you're, what about Bob Fan? I'm kind of excited about that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's 9 days.
9 days, wow.
Yeah.
I'm still teaching, so I can't go.
I know.
I would love to go on something like, I would enjoy
there's some others during the summer. So
I would love doing some of these things. These would be fun.
I'm trying to think. I know the Cape Cod one is in June.
Yeah.
And then the Vermont one is in August, and then
we're doing our Mexican road trip this year. We're driving.
Oh, fun!
We're driving to Mexico.
That will be fun.
We're driving to El Rosario, which is a good 6 hours out of Ensenada. So we're it's halfway down the Baja Peninsula.
Wow.
We're driving.
I love a good road trip.
Yeah. Well, we're excited. Well, the church, my church, that we sponsor a church down in El Rosario through Baja Missions. And so they needed a van. And one of the best places to buy passenger vans is Carpenter Rentals.
Okay.
And so we purchased a van, the church did, and it needs to be transported. So my husband and I love road trips. We're like, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing a road trip.
How many hours?
I don't know. We're gonna take a couple of weeks, but we're gonna take a week to get to San Diego, and then we're gonna pick up some of the mission team, and that's where we always when we anybody that goes on. There's a lot of people in this region that work with Baja Missions, and because there's several other churches in this area, and we all talk. And so we fly into San Diego, and then we always go across the border there in Tijuana, and then facilitate out of Ensenada, where a lot of people know of the City of Children. It's a big orphanage. And the Baja Missions is their office with them. And so we facilitate out of that. So we're picking up some of the mission team in San Diego, taking them across the border regrouping in Sonata and then going on down and doing our normal mission week.
I've road trip to California from here. But we went up through Utah and then down to California and then came in across basically the border and back up was our kind of our thing. And
I love long road trips. We went on a road trip with my parents when I was in high school. Well, it was almost in college, and we went to Caribou, Maine. And my sister was living there, and we actually moved her back to Kentucky. And we went to Caribou, Maine, and then back up through Canada, and it was fabulous. And then if you've not taken long road trips, you don't know what you're missing.
Right.
And they're just the best.
You take a long trip, but not be in a hurry.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Just don't be in like a giant hurry because you'll miss it.
Yeah, you really will. And so on our way out, we're going to stop off in Sedona and the Grand Canyon. So we're going to have a little bit off the.
You know, Sedona is not very far from my hometown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you'll have to give me some tips on what I need to do.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I grew up. Okay. We grew up going to Sedona all the time. We go to there's the place in Sedona called Slide Rock, and there's not a lot of water in Arizona. Just in case anybody didn't know.
Yeah.
But Slide Rock had this huge I guess it's not really a waterfall, but is a natural water slide. You would go and you would sit at the top and the water would push you down and then you would go into like this big old pool at the bottom and you couldn't wear a regular swimsuit because they'd cut it up on the rocks. So you'd had to wear cutoffs over your swimsuit. But yeah, we would go and do that every summer. It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see, this is all kinds of this. You got to know a local to know this kind of stuff. This is why I'm going to, if I ever get to Egypt, I'm going with some of my friends from there because that's what they always
know.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot go by yourself. You have to go with us. So anyway, we digress. It's 1:45. Let's talk about UPS Store.
Okay.
Let's talk UPS Store. And I was just talking to Deborah. I was just messaging Deborah, and I said, I need the coupon again because she had sent me the coupon earlier. They just changed their coupon, and so they've got this new big red coupon, and it's 10% off wide format prints, banners, blueprints, posters, and you can also come in and do the questionnaire, and that will qualify you for a $250 gift certificate from Amazon store. So what did you want to say about the UPS store?
The UPS store is amazing. I absolutely love Tom. He has given back so much in our community, and his manager, Justin. There's just nothing that I don't turn to them for. In fact, I need to go pick up my son's graduation. He's graduating today, and I'm just picking up his graduation announcements. That's how I roll under pressure a little bit, but I got to go pick those up today. But when I first got the job, our calendar was just kind of just listed out, and I was like, no, we're going to make a fun calendar. So I made this cute calendar. I'm like, I'm going to blow this up and make it really big and put it on the wall. And I was so excited. I thought it was so unique, and so I sent it off to UPS store, and I was just like, hey, I need this on architect print. And Justin's like, yeah, I do this for most of the care centers and senior centers around here. I was like, I thought it was so I had thought of something so cool. But they are amazing. In fact, one of the first things I came in and the state had asked us to do a survey, and we had all these surveys, but they needed to be in Nashville like yesterday, and so the best way was to email them, but there's no way to scan all these surveys. And I was like, I'm just going to go to the UPS store and have them scan it for me. And they're like, how much is that going to cost? I'm like, don't worry about it. So we go down and they scan it for me, and I'm not giving away their services, but they give us a deal. They're always willing to give you a good deal, and so if they can, especially for a good cause. And so we got it scanned off and we got it sent off, and we got feedback. Wow, that was great. The next day I go into a meeting that I was supposed to be on, and I walk in and I overhear they're like, yeah, she's so well connected. She just went down to the UPS store and just got them to scan it right then. And I was like, it's just the UPS store is just good. Everybody's connected to the UPS store. Everybody's connected to the UPS store. They're always willing to help you out and do good. And I can't say enough good things about.
You know what's so funny there is every time I go to do the UPS ad, if there's somebody in here, they chime in because there's always a connection. There's always somebody's got a story. I talk a lot about being thrilled with the notary services because when we were selling my parents' estate, the idea of having to go and get things notarized, I was like, and then I found out the UPS store, they're all notaries. Yep. And you can go in there anytime. They helped me out with flyers. I was trying to find some advertisers for, the show, and they're like, well, we got you. And they got it done. And I was like, what in the world? And I've still got to go in, and we're going to get some signs to put up here for one street over and all that. And I just haven't gotten in there and got it done. They're waiting on me. And, and it's just so wonderful. And as I pull it up too, think of it, we're talking about these road trips and stuff. Well, they can take care of your mail while you're gone. You can, get a temporary mailbox and have your mail delivered there if you're going to be traveling or something like that. All these services, they're the everything store. That's what we like to say.
And
they're the everything store.
I know quite a bit about their international shipping because I just put together a training for them on their international shipping. It's very intense and they're experts on it. Like they have to take this training on how to get your whatever you're sending international. It's a very intense training, and so I had so UPS provides the training, but then I kind of help them redigest it so that they could stay up on it and make sure that they're always up on the latest and greatest things and
Interesting.
Stuff. So yeah, like if you have something to send overseas, go to the UPS store. They will make sure it gets there, and they will make sure that there isn't some big large bill on either side of it too, which is the big problem because
it can't happen
if you don't. And I learned this. Like I had a surgery that I had to order something from the UK for like a post surgery garment I had to wear, and they didn't. And they didn't put on there what it was made out of. And it got held up in Memphis until I could call. And it was during the holidays. And my surgery was January, like right after the holidays. And it got held up in Memphis until I could call them and tell them like the materials it was made out of. And I'm like, I bought it. I don't know. Wow. And so the UPS store makes sure that you have exactly what they're going to need for customs so things don't get caught up.
Yeah, and it happens. I mean, it's just amazing that all the expertise that they bring to the table, and we compare them to Chick-fil-A employees. Actually, they're better than Chick-fil-A employees, in my opinion. I mean, they're just absolutely top-notch. They're all professional, and they're all so very helpful. Oh, and I got to tell you, too, they're the place you drop off your Amazon packages, and they got this really cool little kiosk over to the left. And so I like to go in there and just do it myself because I get so tickled when I'm able to do it. And Deborah was teasing me the other day because I was showing somebody else how to do it, and I was like, I'm just, I kind of had fun with it. It was just kind of silly, I know, but I don't know. It's kind of like playing store when you're a little girl,
right?
And I was like, I went in there and I played store for a minute, and I did all my own I did all my Amazon stuff, shipped it back without any problem, and it just works great. So anyway, all the things.
I had a conversation with Tom about why he decided to do that because he said I didn't want to have kiosks because I like the customer service, right?
Yeah.
And he said, but then one day I'm sitting there watching on the cameras this big old long line of people forming with Amazon packages, and I realized I wasn't serving the customer by making them wait in line when they could have just taken care of it themselves with a kiosk. And he's like, so it was customer first oriented, not about saving a penny, not cutting corners. It was really about what's going to serve my customers the best. And I thought that was pretty cool.
He's just wonderful. Go see them. We've talked enough about them, but 513 Memorial Boulevard here in Springfield, 513 Memorial Boulevard, and their hours of operation 8 to 6:30, 8 a.m. to 6:30 Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday they're open 9 to 3, Sunday from 10 to 3. So they have hours every single day, but I love that on the weekend they keep their employees in mind, and they're not just opened all day, so they can have a life too. So 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday from 9 to 3, and Sunday from 10 to 3. Go see them. UPS store, the everything store. Where do you want to go next, young lady?
I don't know.
I can say young lady because I am a senior citizen. I am 63.
My first day, I walk in and they've kept me very busy. My job really is to be community focused, and I get to know the members. That's the perk of the job, but not my main focus of the job. And so the first day I was introducing myself, and one sweet lady goes, "Are you old enough to be away from your mama yet?"
Oh, how cute.
I was like, I've never felt so young in my life. So I was just like, well, yeah, I got babies of my own. And they're like, well, why aren't you home with your babies? I said, well, they all left me. They're all at school. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you're that old. And I was like, this is great. I'm going to love it here. Yes, they're the sweetest.
They're just delightful. But, and I've got to get in there because I love that generation so much. And we can all learn. And, I'm finally kind of, you talk about how that your brother said that you qualify as a senior at 55. I'm only just now going, okay, yeah, I'm a senior. But you know what I think's really driven it home is being in high school with these kiddos, these young ones. And I will say things and they'll just go, and it's just the funniest thing. And when I talk about my radio career starting in 1980, because they're always asking me because their parents know me as U-Turn, and they're like, what are they talking about, Miss Vivio? Because they don't have any idea. And so we'll talk a little bit about it. And I'll say, I started in radio in 1980, and they're just like, oh. It's like I'm ancient. And it's just the funniest thing. And I said something to them the other day. So many people are just like, it's such a terrible time. And I mean, we talk about the screens and all that. And I tell the students, I said, man, you guys live in the coolest time. You've got everything at your fingertips, but you've got to understand what really is important.
Right.
And I was just talking about, I said, don't let anybody tell you that you're not growing up in just the most amazing time ever, because there's no limits on your life. And they said, well, that's the same for you too, Miss Vivio. And I said, but I'm at the end of my life. You're at the beginning of yours. And they're like, you're okay with that? And it's like, yeah,
it is what it is. Take pride in it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know where I'm going too, man. I know what's next. So.
I was talking to some people, and this is the funny thing about, it used to be, I would say I was born in the 1900s, and people kind of laugh about that, but kids don't anymore. Like, that is old to them, right?
Yeah.
You were born in the 1900s. That is old. So I say that as often as I can. Well, back when I was in high school in the 1900s, this is how we did it. And, but I was talking to some people the other day, and we were talking about when they graduated from high school, and I was like, well, I graduated in the 1900s, and I was like, not that anybody asked me, and they're like, well, it's not polite. And I was like, oh, I'm proud of every single year I own.
Me too.
Like, I have never been embarrassed at my age. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. But so yeah, I love it. It's but I do feel a little young, and it's a good feeling. So come in and make me not feel so young. Come in and hang out with me. So I tell everybody, I'm like, I gotta work somewhere where people just get to come hang out.
Yeah,
I get so fun.
I love
if
that.
you want to come see me, come hang out with me. It's great.
Love it. So what are the hours?
So it's 9 to 3:30 Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Is the current hours. We want to try to add some more. I don't know if just being open in the evenings would be all that advantageous, but add events in the evenings for our working crowd. And I've got so many ideas, as you can imagine. I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Let's and I don't know how to not hit the ground running and want to do it all at once. So that's why I'm trying to hold myself back and be like, all right, Tiffany, you can't change everything, especially when you're working with seniors. You cannot change everything tomorrow. Because
that's not how we do it.
That's not how we do it once we get older. We like it the way we do it.
Yeah.
But there were a few things that I did change right away, but anyway, it's a lot of fun.
I love it.
But one thing that I have, nobody really identifies as a senior. Even some of our seniors don't identify as being a senior. But in my career, I've worked with the population of people that in grad school, we called it otherizing others. Like, I do not identify with that person. They are an other, almost like the caste system, right? They're an other. And we do that with people who are experiencing homelessness. We experience people who are living in addiction. And I have never, and that's been my career, right? I've worked with that population of people who abuse their children. And I have never experienced the kind of otherizing that happens when you talk about seniors. It's always like, that is other people. I am not a senior, or I can't, even people who aren't seniors, I got quite a bit of, you're going to go hang out with old people all day long? I was like, well, I'm going to go run a nonprofit. But yeah, there are, our seniors are there, and it's been very eye-opening how much when we see people as no longer being useful, we kind of cast them aside. And then we wonder why the 65 plus population has our highest death by suicide. It's just, that has been the most kind of heartbreaking thing for me, because when you come in there and you start talking to them, you realize they're no different.
Oh my gosh.
Than anybody else, except they have cooler stories than you do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So that's a lot of times, like when some of the staff have had people gathered and they'll want me to come in and introduce myself, I'm always like, if you've got a really cool story, please come tell me. I love stories. So yeah, I'm starting to get to hear some of their stories, but some of the things that I just didn't even clue in that I would still be dealing with, and you deal with humans, and like I said, I've, from baby on up, and now I'm experiencing the other side of the spectrum. Humans are human.
Yeah. For sure.
And people need to be treated with dignity and love and respect. And there's so much left for them to give. And so I really want to start also bringing to attention, you heard me, especially when I was with United Way, every time I came on here, I said, whatever your passion, there's a place for you to plug in. And so I want to make sure people know that they can come volunteer at the senior center. This is a great thing. You got Tennessee Promise Hours. You can come play cards with seniors for your Tennessee Promise Hours. Come
seriously.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, come in. Like, I mean, I got physical labor to do too if sitting and playing cards isn't it. But if you want to just come in and you want to play cards or play games, sometimes they come into the senior center and there aren't enough people there to play a game. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to come to a senior center and then still be lonely at the senior center. Yeah. So I would love for people to come in and volunteer and just to come play games. That would be great. Also, if you have any artists, I have a couple art projects I would like to have done. So any artists, if that want a place to plug in, please contact me. And then also if you have any opportunities for our seniors to be involved, whether, something they can sit and do with their hands or, our more physically able ones. I know I put it on our Facebook page. We have a new Facebook page that everybody give a follow. It's just Robertson County Senior Center. That's our forward-facing Facebook page. In the past, they had like a group where people could talk amongst themselves, but this is our forward-facing Facebook page. And so give it a follow, and I've been putting volunteer opportunities on there. So like Laundry Love is coming up tomorrow, so that's a place most of the seniors I know in the community I met through Laundry Love. So I'm wanting to get our seniors involved in service, but also have people give back in service. So if you've got a passion, whatever your passion is, contact me. We're going to find a place for you to plug in, and figure out where we can use you, because we got a lot of needs at the senior center, and I'm excited to have the community pour into them and us to pour back out. So
I love it. Now we let's pause for a second, and then we're right at the top of the hour. We're going to take a minute and talk about Barry and Rebecca, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. And it's going to take us a minute to talk about Barry and Rebecca because we got to talk Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. Woohoo! Because that starts tomorrow night, and that is what, if you pull up anything for Barry and Rebecca right now, it's all Bluegrass Festival, because they're going to be there. They'll have their tent set up. You can come in and you can sit down and talk to them about where you're wanting to live, what's available in that area. You can give them your address, and they can do a free market analysis of your property if you're wanting to list it and you're wondering about it. Your real estate questions, you can get answered tomorrow, starting the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival again is going to kick off with the Dan Kelly fiddle competition. I think we're starting at 5. I don't see a poster handy to tell you for sure, but we're going to be starting, I think, about 5 o'clock tomorrow, and it'll be an opportunity for you to come out and again just sit with them and talk with them. And then the music's going to start up at 11 on Saturday. We're going to have a clogging competition tomorrow night. We're also going to have a square dance. It's a great time for you to come out and really get your real estate questions answered. They'll probably have something cool. They'll have some kind of drawing. They'll have a giant chicken or something out there. They always do something crazy and fun at their tent. So come out and sit and talk with them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival up in Cross Plains. Barry and Rebecca have been in Cross Plains for 30 years. They pour into the community everywhere. You're going to see them out and about all the time. They'll be at the big 3rd of July, have a celebration out there as well. They've asked me to host that as well. I'll be at this event and the one for the celebration of our country's birth as well, but it'll be on the 3rd of July. But they're always out and about in the community. That will be the same story this weekend at the Kilgore Festival. So come out and enjoy that, but have your questions ready for if you want to buy, if you're wanting to sell, if you're wanting to be a realtor. Some high school kids are coming out of school and they're saying, hey, this is what I want to do. You will find no better folks to mentor you than Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. They've got a brokerage office, Barry's office here in Springfield. Her agency office is up in White House, and they have got a broker that can still broker deals in Kentucky. All kinds of things that you can work with. Every question you need answered for real estate, they can help you with it. You can call them at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 or 7424, or just come and see them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival starting tomorrow evening and running through Saturday. And go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or robertsoncounty.com, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Wrap it up for us.
Okay, well, just real fast, today at the library at noon, we have the Robertson County Prevention Coalition.
Oh, yes.
So if you care about our youth and them staying sober, please come join us at the library at noon today. And then also, we are having a health fair next week at the Senior Center. So if you are a healthcare provider in any way that could, please contact me again, Director rcseniorcenter.com, and we'll get you signed up to have a table at the health the Help Fair. This is a place for our seniors to be able to connect with services that are available in our community. So yeah, come on out. We're having a potluck the other day too, so come eat some food.
So give them your contact again. That's director
at rcseniorcenter.com.
That's a lot of C's.
Yeah. RC. For Robertson County, and then seniorcenter.com.
Director.
And yep. And then, so come on out. Or you can call my cell phone number, 615-476-6174. Again, that's 615-476-6174. She smiles every time like I haven't done this before.
Well, I'm just so proud of you that you always remember.
Oh, my goodness. The first time I was on your show, I was so nervous. And now it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be on the radio. Oh,
yeah, she's
got an hour? Sure, we'll talk for an hour.
No problem. Tiffany Thomson with no P. Tiffany Thomson. And you can reach out to her at the Senior Center now, her new gig, and all things, like she said, Prevention Coalition, all the
Stop by and see me.
Yeah, there you go.
You can come hang out with me anytime.
And thank you for joining us. Thank y'all for joining us. Tomorrow, Rachel Culver will be here for Faith Friday, and I hope you will be as well. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you, y'all. Have a fabulous day.